this is a burden on your family in relation to any extra care or assistance you might need from them?
Well, not at this stage, but I think I'm sort of concerned how, things might turn pear-shaped, but then anything can go like that in life. So I've tried to just put that out of my mind and think, you can't imagine what's going to be next.
Well, we have spoken a little bit about treatment, and now we'll talk about support and care. Care might be in the form of charities, patient groups, or healthcare workers. So my question is, have you received any support from health and community services to help manage the impact of lupus? What kind of support and where from?
No, I haven't, and I didn't even know there was any for lupus. I know there's heaps for people with MS, like my son got a nurse and everything. He's got a MS nurse and he's got this doctor and that doctor, and but I haven't. I don't think there's really an acknowledgement in the wider community of what lupus is. No one really knows, and it varies so much that some people go, you'll cope. Like, I know a friend that she's all right, and I think, it's just like when someone has, like they have their periods and, say, you'll be fine. And then some people just, throw up every month, which is what I was like with my period. And so they think, well, what's wrong with you? It's just your period. So it varies so much, with lupus. You could be, no one could tell that you're sick because you look all right on the outside.
In relation to your condition, beyond being able to access treatments, what would you most like to see from new treatments? This might be about the way they are administered or the side effects they have or costs or things like that. And this is based on your experience so far.
Well, I haven't had any treatments yet, so I don't know. But I have a preference that I'd like to have. I'd like to have by infusion instead of like taking tablets. I've sort of looked into that. That might be if I get to that stage where I have to have like the methotrexate one. But I'm thinking, diagnosing myself, I'm thinking that maybe they might just put me on Plaquenil, which is like one that sort of slows the progression of lupus. And then if I have a flare, that they might dose me with prednisolone, which I don't want. But I'm just thinking I'll see what she says on Friday.
In relation to your condition, what would you most like to see from information? Were there any topics that weren't covered that you'd like to see available, or perhaps the format or how information is presented?
Well, I wasn't presented any information, only by just saying, you have lupus. So I haven't had a brochure, a piece of paper, or an explanation of what it is. I've had to look it up myself. So I suppose something would be helpful. Something.
In relation to your condition, is there anything that you would like changed in relation to the way health professionals communicate with patients?
Well, I suppose, like, for doctors to actually know about lupus, I suppose it's so complex that they don't even, some doctors don't even want to touch it. And this doctor that I have, thankfully, he's really understanding and caring. Whether, I don't know how much of his knowledge about it is, but he's not dismissive like others have been. And I suppose just wanting doctors to have some more idea of what it's about, because it seems quite, lots of people have it. And it just seems to be under the rug in a way. No one wants to deal with it.
In relation to your condition, are there any specific services that you would like to see developed to support and care for people who have lupus? This might be through charities or the hospital system, or it might be something that you would have liked help with along the way.
Probably like, you know, like a nurse, like my husband has a cardiac nurse that looks after him. It's a he nurse. Yeah, even though that doesn't even matter these days, but you know, you've got a female in your mind when you say nurse. But yeah, I just think having someone that I can like bounce information off any time, and he's got access to this cardiac nurse that he can go and talk to and just get things checked, separate from his doctor and his cardiologist. And I suppose, for lupus, I'd like, someone that like gets that and can give me really good information that is, really, clued in on all the sort of things that can happen with lupus. Mm.
Thinking back over your experience, is there anything that you know now that you wish you had have known earlier or at diagnosis?
I wish I knew, like in 2018, and reading the blood test, because I would have said to that doctor, this is bad. And I do remember even like when I read it, I said, well, what's SLE? That doesn't sound very good. He goes, oh, no, that's okay. And the thing is, last week, my daughter was diagnosed with lupus as well. She's 20.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I know. From the same crazy doctor. I told her to get away from him. But this other doctor that had diagnosed me in 2018, and he said to her, he did the tests and everything, and it came back a week positive, but still positive. And he goes, oh, it's lupus, but don't worry, you're too young for that. And I said to my daughter, now that you've got the blood test, move away from him and come to my doctor, because at least you've got the test now. He doesn't know anything about it. And all he started to do was ask her about her social life, and I think he likes her.
Oh, gosh. Now,
so
Gail,
crazy.
If you had known, or if you were diagnosed in 2018 with lupus, do you think this would have changed the way you made decisions?
Well, it would have made me obviously get to a rheumatologist if I had a doctor that, because I would have said, oh, I need to go to a rheumatologist for that, and and if he'd said blah blah blah, no, it doesn't matter, I would have straight away gone to another doctor and then got a referral to a rheumatologist, which I know now that's what you've got to do. But because I was so frustrated with him, because he kept saying, oh, I think it's in your head, and it put me right off doctors. I just said to everyone, I'm not going to doctors anymore. He just burnt me. And so I would have totally been probably on something as of 2018, instead of just waiting until now. And maybe, who knows what's wrong with my kidneys, because I've got to have a biopsy. So...
Also, thinking back over your experience, is there any aspect of your care or treatment that you would change?
The care, for this doctor that I'm on with now, the care and treatment's been really great. Over my life, I've had mostly doctors that just couldn't be bothered, really. They just wanted, I don't know, it's just been really disheartening. Yeah. But just in the last, the doctor before this one, and she left to move to another town, and she was amazing and listened amazingly. And I had one other doctor in 2016. He was good, but he left the town. Yes, I'm hoping this one won't leave. That I have now. Yeah.
So we are very lucky in Australia to have a good health system. Is there anything that you have been particularly grateful for in relation to the services or treatments that you've been able to access in the Australian health system?
Well, yeah, I am grateful for that. I think, the